Another valuable exercise is to reframe the situation in your mind. Instead of viewing disagreements as a battle to be won, consider them opportunities for growth and learning. Each discussion allows you to see different perspectives and expand your understanding of the world. As Marcus Aurelius advised, the universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. By reframing your thoughts around conflict, you can approach disagreements with curiosity and openness rather than defensiveness and rigidity. It's also important to practice humility. Understand that no one has all the answers, and everyone is on their own journey of learning and growth. When you embrace the idea that you don't know everything, you create space for new insights and perspectives. This humility can lead to more productive conversations and stronger relationships. Consider the example of a couple, Sarah and James, who often found themselves arguing about household responsibilities. Rather than insisting on who was right, they decided to sit down and discuss their feelings openly. Sarah shared her frustration about feeling overwhelmed, while James expressed his feelings of being unappreciated. By approaching the conversation with vulnerability and a willingness to listen, they were able to find common ground and establish a fair division of tasks. This experience strengthened their relationship and fostered a deeper understanding of each other's needs. As you navigate the process of letting go of the need to be right, remember that it's a journey that takes time and practice. Reflect on the words of the philosopher Lao Tzu. To be truly ignorant, be content with your own knowledge. Embrace the idea that there is always more to learn and that every interaction is an opportunity for growth. In conclusion, letting go of the need to always be right is a transformative journey that leads to deeper connections, emotional well-being, and a more peaceful existence. By prioritizing understanding over ego, practicing active listening, and embracing humility, you can cultivate healthier relationships and foster an environment of mutual respect. As you move forward, challenge yourself to approach disagreements with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Recognize that true wisdom lies not in winning arguments, but in understanding others and nurturing connections. By doing so, you create a life filled with harmony, respect, and genuine connection with those around you. 7. Silencing the digital noise. In today's hyperconnected world, it's nearly impossible to escape the constant flood of notifications, messages, and updates. Every beep, buzz, and alert demands our attention, pulling us away from what truly matters. While technology has undoubtedly brought countless conveniences, it has also created an incessant digital noise that can clutter our minds, drain our energy, and leave us feeling perpetually distracted. If left unchecked, this constant barrage can contribute to stress, anxiety, and a sense of disconnection from ourselves and the people we care about. The problem with digital noise is that it doesn't just consume your time, it consumes your mental space. When you're constantly plugged in, your mind never gets a chance to rest. You might think you're staying informed or connected, but in reality, you're overstimulating your brain and reducing your ability to focus, reflect, and be present in the moment. The Stoic philosopher Seneca pointed out, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. In our quest for constant information and connection, we may find ourselves poor in terms of mental clarity and peace. Silencing the digital noise doesn't mean giving up technology altogether. It means setting boundaries that allow you to use technology intentionally rather than letting it control you. Start by identifying where most of your digital noise comes from. Is it endless scrolling through social media? Constant email alerts? Group chats that never seem to end? Once you pinpoint the main sources, you can take steps to reduce their impact. One effective strategy is to declutter your digital environment. Unfollow accounts that don't add value to your life, unsubscribe from unnecessary email lists, and turn off non-essential notifications. Each small step you take to reduce the noise creates more mental space for clarity and calm. Consider the story of Mark, a teacher who found himself overwhelmed by notifications from various social media platforms. He realized that the constant alerts were distracting him from his work and personal life. After a week of turning off notifications and unfollowing accounts that didn't contribute positively to his life, he noticed a significant improvement in his focus and overall well-being. Another powerful practice is to introduce tech-free moments into your day. For example, start your morning without checking your phone for the first 30 minutes. Use the time to meditate, journal, or simply enjoy a quiet moment to yourself. Similarly, set a time in the evening when you put your devices away and wind down without screens. These small changes can have a profound impact on your mental well-being. As Marcus Aurelius wisely noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. By taking charge of your digital consumption, you reclaim your power and create a more intentional relationship with technology. Consider implementing a digital detox where you take a break from all non-essential technology for a day or even a weekend. During this time, engage in activities that nourish your mind and spirit, such as reading, hiking, or spending quality time with loved ones. This can help reset your relationship with technology and allow you to rediscover the joys of being present in the moment. It's also essential to create a mindful approach to your digital interactions. When you do use technology, be intentional about how you engage with it. For instance, instead of mindlessly scrolling through social media, set specific times during the day when you'll check your phone or email. Instead of responding to every alert as it comes in, designate certain hours for communication. This not only helps you stay focused on your tasks, but also reduces the anxiety that comes from constant interruptions. In the context of Stoicism, it's crucial to focus on what you can control. In a world where digital distractions are everywhere, you may not be able to eliminate them entirely, but you can control how much you engage with them. Reflect on the words of Seneca, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." The anxieties we create around our digital interactions can often be worse than the reality of the situation. By consciously choosing how and when to engage with technology, you can alleviate some of that anxiety. Another way to combat digital noise is to practice mindfulness and meditation. Mindfulness can help you become more aware of your thoughts and feelings, allowing you to observe them without judgment. Simple mindfulness exercises, such as focusing on your breath for a few minutes, can significantly reduce anxiety and improve your ability to concentrate. Regular meditation practice has been shown to increase attention span and overall mental clarity, making it easier to navigate the complexities of modern life. Take a moment to consider how you feel after a day of heavy digital consumption. Do you feel energized or drained? Often, excessive screen time leads to fatigue and mental fog. By contrast, allowing yourself tech-free time can promote a sense of calm and clarity. The Stoics believed in the importance of self-examination and reflection. As you cultivate a more mindful approach to technology, check in with yourself. How does my digital consumption affect my mood and energy levels? It's also important to recognize the impact of comparison on our mental health. Social media platforms are often breeding grounds for unrealistic comparisons, where people showcase only the highlights of their lives. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and dissatisfaction. As the philosopher Lao Tzu said, when you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everyone will respect you. By silencing the digital noise and choosing to engage with uplifting content, you can create a more positive online environment that fosters growth and inspiration. In conclusion, silencing the digital noise is essential for maintaining mental clarity and emotional well-being in our fast-paced, technology-driven world. By setting boundaries, decluttering your digital environment, and practicing mindfulness, you can reclaim your attention and focus on what truly matters. Remember that you have the power to shape your relationship with technology, and by doing so, you create space for deeper connections and a more fulfilling life. Embrace the journey of letting go of digital distractions and watch how it transforms your experience of the world around you. As you cultivate habits that prioritize mindfulness and intentionality, you'll find that your life becomes richer and more meaningful, allowing you to engage with yourself and others on a deeper level. Transforming negative thoughts into positive ones. Negative thoughts have a sneaky way of taking over your mind. They often start small, self-doubt, worry, or criticism, but if left unchecked, they can grow into a persistent mental loop that drains your energy, clouds your judgment, and makes life feel heavier than it actually is. The truth is, your thoughts shape your reality, and if you're constantly feeding your mind with negativity, it's no surprise that you end up feeling anxious, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. This profound insight reminds us that by changing the way we think, we can change our experience of life. Transforming negative thoughts into positive ones isn't about ignoring reality or forcing fake optimism. It's about learning to recognize harmful thought patterns and consciously replacing them with more constructive ones. The first step in this transformative process is awareness. Many people don't even realize how often they engage in negative self-talk because it has become a habit. To begin, pay attention to your inner dialogue. When you notice a negative thought, don't judge yourself, simply acknowledge it. Ask yourself, is this thought helping me, or is it holding me back? For example, consider Sarah, who often finds herself thinking, I'm not good enough for this job. This thought creates a cycle of anxiety and self-doubt, leading her to underperform. By recognizing this negative self-talk, Sarah can consciously challenge it. Instead of accepting the thought as truth, she can reframe it to, I am capable and have valuable skills to contribute. This simple shift can significantly alter her mindset and performance. Reframing is an effective technique for transforming negative thoughts. It involves looking at a situation from a different, more empowering perspective. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, I always mess things up, reframe it as I made a mistake, but I can learn from it and improve. This shift doesn't deny the mistake, it simply puts it in a more constructive light, turning it into an opportunity for growth rather than a source of self-criticism. Another powerful tool for transforming negative thoughts is gratitude. Negative thoughts often focus on what's missing or what's going wrong. Practicing gratitude helps shift your focus to what's already present and going well in your life. When you feel overwhelmed by negative thoughts, pause and list 3 things you're grateful for in that moment. They could be as simple as having a roof over your head, a supportive friend, or the opportunity to learn something new. Gratitude doesn't erase challenges, but it balances your perspective and helps you see life more clearly. Consider the example of John, who struggled with negative thinking after losing his job. Initially, he felt overwhelmed by feelings of failure and hopelessness. However, after adopting a gratitude practice, he began to focus on the positives in his life, such as his supportive partner and the skills he had developed over the years. This shift allowed him to see his job loss not as a dead end but as an opportunity to explore new career paths and interests. By transforming his focus from negativity to gratitude, John found renewed motivation and purpose. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. The people you spend time with and the content you consume can significantly impact your mindset. If you're constantly exposed to negativity, it's harder to maintain a positive outlook. Seek out friends, mentors, and communities that uplift you. Fill your mind with books, podcasts, and conversations that inspire and motivate you. As Jim Rohn famously said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Curate your environment to support your growth and reinforce healthier thought patterns. To further aid in transforming negative thoughts, engage in regular self-reflection. Set aside time each week to evaluate your thought patterns and emotional responses. Journaling can be an effective tool for this process. Write down negative thoughts you've experienced throughout the week and challenge each one. Ask yourself, what evidence do I have to support this thought? Is there a more balanced perspective I can adopt? This practice of self-examination fosters awareness and empowers you to take control of your internal dialogue. Another effective technique is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness encourages you to observe your thoughts without judgment, creating space between you and your thoughts. When you engage in mindfulness, you can acknowledge negative thoughts without becoming entangled in them. For example, during a mindfulness meditation session, if you notice a negative thought arise, simply acknowledge it and let it pass like a cloud drifting across the sky. This practice helps you develop a more objective perspective on your thoughts, allowing you to separate your identity from your negative self-talk. As you work to transform negative thoughts into positive ones, remember that this is a journey that takes time and practice. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this process. Reflect on the words of Rainer Maria Rilke, be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. Embrace the idea that transformation doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you can cultivate a more positive mindset. Consider implementing the following practical strategies to aid in your journey of transformation. Daily affirmations. Start each day with positive affirmations that reinforce your self-worth and capabilities. For instance, repeat phrases like, I am enough or I am capable of achieving my goals. This practice can help rewire your brain to focus on positive beliefs. Mindful breathing. Incorporate mindful breathing exercises into your daily routine. Take a few moments to focus on your breath, allowing yourself to center your thoughts. This practice can help reduce anxiety and promote clarity. Challenge negative thoughts. When a negative thought arises, write it down and challenge it. Ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? What evidence do I have that contradicts this thought? This process can help you cultivate a more balanced perspective. Gratitude journaling. Keep a gratitude journal and write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. This practice fosters a positive mindset and helps shift your focus away from negativity. Limit negative influences. Identify any sources of negativity in your life, whether they be people, media, or environments. Make a conscious effort to limit your exposure to these influences and surround yourself with positivity. In conclusion, transforming negative thoughts into positive ones is a vital skill for enhancing your emotional well-being and overall quality of life. By cultivating awareness, practicing reframing, embracing gratitude, surrounding yourself with positive influences, and engaging in self-reflection, you can take charge of your thoughts and reshape your reality. As you navigate this journey, remember that you have the power to change your internal dialogue and create a more fulfilling life. Embrace the process of transformation and watch as your mindset shifts from one of negativity to one of empowerment and possibility. By mastering your thoughts, you master your life. 9. Clearing physical and mental clutter. Have you ever noticed how a cluttered environment can make your mind feel chaotic and overwhelmed? Clutter, whether it's physical mess around you or mental baggage weighing you down, creates noise in your life. It drains your energy, distracts your focus, and makes it harder to feel calm and centered. That's why clearing both physical and mental clutter is essential for creating a space where clarity and peace can thrive. Let's start with physical clutter. When your living or working space is messy, your brain has to process all that visual information even if you're not consciously aware of it. This constant sensory input can increase stress and reduce your ability to concentrate. As the minimalist philosopher Joshua Becker wisely said, clutter is the physical manifestation of unmade decisions fueled by procrastination. This perspective helps us understand that every item we hold onto represents a choice we've made, and sometimes those choices can weigh us down. The solution isn't just about tidying up for the sake of appearance, it's about creating an environment that supports your well-being. Start by decluttering one small area like your desk or a single drawer. As you clear the physical space, you'll likely notice a sense of relief and mental lightness that follows. For instance, consider a student named Emma who found that her disorganized room was affecting her ability to study effectively. After dedicating a weekend to decluttering her space, she discovered that the newfound order not only made her environment more pleasant but also improved her focus and productivity. Clearing physical clutter isn't about perfection, it's about intentionality. Ask yourself, do the things in my space add value to my life, or are they just taking up space? If something doesn't serve a purpose or bring you joy, consider letting it go. This principle aligns with the Stoic teaching of focusing on what truly matters. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." By letting go of excess items, you create a more intentional living space that reflects your values and priorities. Now let's talk about mental clutter. This type of clutter can take the form of racing thoughts, unaddressed emotions, or unfinished tasks weighing on your mind. Mental clutter often arises when we're juggling too many things at once or holding on to unresolved issues. As Marcus Aurelius noted, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. This wisdom encourages us to take charge of our mental space and prioritize what truly matters. One effective way to clear mental clutter is through journaling. Set aside a few minutes each day to write down your thoughts, worries, and to-do lists. Putting things on paper helps free your mind from having to hold onto everything. You can also use journaling to reflect on what's been weighing you down and identify actionable steps to address those concerns. For example, if you find yourself stressing over a looming deadline, write down the specific tasks you need to complete. Breaking them into smaller, manageable steps can alleviate anxiety and provide a clearer path forward. Another strategy is mindful prioritization. Often, mental clutter comes from trying to do too many things at once. Instead of scattering your energy across multiple tasks, focus on the most important ones. Each morning, make a short list of your top 3 priorities for the day. By simplifying your focus, you reduce overwhelm and increase your sense of accomplishment. This aligns with the Stoic practice of reflection, as noted by Seneca. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Focusing on what matters most allows you to use your time wisely. Additionally, practice self-compassion as you work through mental clutter. Understand that it's normal to feel overwhelmed at times, but it's essential to be kind to yourself during these moments. Instead of criticizing yourself for feeling cluttered or disorganized, acknowledge your feelings and give yourself permission to take a break. This approach aligns with the Stoic principle of accepting our emotions without judgment. Let's take a moment to consider the impact of digital clutter on our mental space. In our technology-driven world, it's easy to accumulate digital clutter through endless emails, notifications, and social media updates. This digital noise can contribute to mental fatigue and anxiety. To combat this, take time to declutter your digital life. Unsubscribe from unnecessary emails, delete apps that don't serve you, and set specific times during the day to check your messages. By creating boundaries around your digital consumption, you can significantly reduce mental clutter and reclaim your focus. As you work on clearing both physical and mental clutter, reflect on the words of Marie Kondo. The objective of cleaning is not just to clean, but to feel happiness living within that environment. When you declutter, you create an environment that promotes joy and peace. Take the time to surround yourself with items that inspire and uplift you. This doesn't just apply to physical belongings, it extends to the thoughts you nurture in your mind. Consider the practice of gratitude as a tool for clearing mental clutter. When you focus on what you're grateful for, you shift your perspective from what's lacking to what's abundant in your life. Each evening, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're thankful for. This simple practice can help you cultivate a more positive mindset and reduce feelings of overwhelm. It's also essential to recognize that clearing clutter is an ongoing process. Life is dynamic and new clutter can accumulate over time. Make it a habit to regularly assess your physical and mental space. Schedule a weekly declutter hour where you take stock of your environment and mind, eliminating what no longer serves you. This proactive approach ensures that clutter doesn't build up, allowing you to maintain a sense of clarity and peace. In conclusion, clearing physical and mental clutter is essential for creating a harmonious and fulfilling life. By intentionally decluttering your environment and mind, you create space for clarity, focus, and joy. Remember that this process is not a one-time event but an ongoing journey. Embrace the practice of reflection and prioritize what truly matters to you. As you embark on this journey, reflect on the Stoic wisdom of focusing on what you can control. You have the power to shape your environment and your thoughts. By letting go of what no longer serves you, you create room for growth, inspiration, and a deeper connection to yourself and others. So take a moment today to assess your surroundings and your mental space. What can you let go of? What can you simplify? As you clear away the clutter, you'll find that your life becomes lighter, more intentional, and filled with the things that truly matter. 10. Escaping the trap of unnecessary comparisons. In a world saturated with curated images and highlight reels, the trap of comparison can feel inescapable. Social media platforms showcase the best moments of other people's lives, exotic vacations, promotions, new relationships, leading us to mistakenly believe that everyone else's life is perfect while ours falls short. This mindset can rob us of joy and self-worth, making it challenging to appreciate our own unique journeys. As Theodore Roosevelt famously said, comparison is the thief of joy. This statement encapsulates the essence of how comparison can diminish our happiness and satisfaction with life. The problem with unnecessary comparisons is that they are often based on incomplete information. We tend to compare our full reality, our struggles, insecurities, and everyday moments with someone else's carefully curated moments of success. This distorted perspective makes it impossible to make a fair comparison and can leave us feeling inadequate and stuck in a cycle of self-doubt. To escape the comparison trap, it's vital to shift our focus inward. Instead of measuring our progress against others, we should compare ourselves only to our past selves. As Seneca advised, as long as you live, keep learning how to live. This philosophy encourages us to view our personal growth as a journey rather than a competition. By concentrating on our own development, we can cultivate a healthier sense of self-worth and fulfillment. Consider the story of Emily, an aspiring artist who often found herself scrolling through social media, comparing her work to that of more established artists. Each time she did, she felt disheartened, doubting her talent and passion. One day, she decided to take a break from social media and instead focused on her craft. During this time, she reflected on her journey, recognizing the progress she had made and the unique style she had developed. By redirecting her focus from comparison to self-reflection, Emily found renewed inspiration and confidence in her artistry. One effective strategy for reducing comparisons is to limit your exposure to triggers. If scrolling through social media leaves you feeling inadequate, consider taking a break or unfollowing accounts that evoke negative feelings. Instead, seek out accounts that inspire and uplift you, showcasing creativity and positivity. Curating your digital environment can help create a more supportive and encouraging space for your personal growth. Another valuable technique for escaping the comparison trap is to practice gratitude. When you find yourself comparing your life to others, pause and reflect on what you appreciate in your own life. This practice helps shift your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. As the philosopher Cicero said, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues but the parent of all the others. By cultivating gratitude, you can foster a more positive mindset and reduce the urge to compare yourself to others. For instance, when you notice thoughts of comparison creeping in, perhaps you see a friend's promotion or a peer's accomplishments, take a moment to acknowledge your feelings. Then challenge those thoughts by listing 3 things you are proud of in your own life. This could include personal achievements, supportive relationships, or even small victories that bring you joy. By focusing on your unique journey, you can cultivate a sense of appreciation for your own experiences. It's also helpful to remember that everyone has their struggles, even if they're not visible on the surface. Just because someone appears to be thriving doesn't mean they don't face challenges behind the scenes. When you catch yourself comparing your life to someone else's, remind yourself that you're only seeing a fraction of their reality. This perspective can help foster empathy and understanding, allowing you to appreciate the uniqueness of your own journey. Consider the example of a young entrepreneur, Alex, who often felt discouraged when comparing his startup's progress to that of more successful companies. Instead of succumbing to feelings of inadequacy, Alex started to focus on the lessons he was learning along the way. He documented his journey, celebrating small milestones and reflecting on the challenges he overcame. By shifting his focus from comparison to personal growth, Alex developed resilience and a deeper appreciation for his entrepreneurial path. Mindfulness can also play a crucial role in escaping the comparison trap. By practicing mindfulness, you can become more aware of your thoughts and feelings, allowing you to observe them without judgment. This awareness helps create distance between you and your thoughts, making it easier to challenge negative comparisons. Engaging in mindfulness exercises such as meditation or deep breathing can ground you in the present moment, reducing the urge to compare yourself to others. Additionally, surround yourself with supportive and positive influences. Seek out friends, family members, or mentors who inspire you and encourage you to embrace your individual journey. As Jim Rohn famously said, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. By surrounding yourself with uplifting individuals, you create an environment that fosters growth and self-acceptance. As you work to escape the comparison trap, remind yourself that your self-worth is not determined by how you stack up against others. Instead, focus on your personal values and aspirations. What truly matters to you? What goals do you want to achieve? By aligning your actions with your values, you can cultivate a sense of purpose and fulfillment that transcends superficial comparisons. In conclusion, escaping the trap of unnecessary comparisons is essential for cultivating self-worth, happiness, and a fulfilling life. By shifting your focus inward, practicing gratitude, limiting exposure to triggers, and surrounding yourself with positive influences, you can break free from the cycle of comparison and embrace your unique journey. As you navigate this path, keep in mind the wise words of the philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson: to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Embrace your individuality, celebrate your progress, and allow yourself the freedom to grow without the weight of comparison. By doing so, you will discover a deeper sense of peace, joy, and fulfillment in your life. As we wrap up our exploration of the 10 things you should quietly eliminate from your life, it's essential to reflect on the key insights we've discussed throughout this journey. Each theme, whether it's letting go of the fear of others' opinions, cutting out toxic relationships, breaking free from destructive habits, or releasing unrealistic expectations, serves as a stepping stone toward achieving inner peace and personal growth. By recognizing what no longer serves you and making intentional choices to let go, you create space for clarity, joy, and fulfillment in your life. The process of transformation is not always loud or dramatic. Rather, it often unfolds quietly and gradually. It requires self-reflection, patience, and a commitment to living in alignment with your values. As you embark on this journey, remember that true change doesn't happen overnight. It's the small, consistent actions we take that lead to lasting transformation. The Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Embrace the idea that letting go of what holds you back is the first step toward creating the life you desire. As you move forward, I encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your own life. What is one thing you can eliminate today that would bring you closer to the person you want to become? It could be a fear that has been holding you back, a toxic relationship that drains your energy, a destructive habit that disrupts your peace, or an unrealistic expectation that limits your potential. By identifying and acting on this one small change, you can set the stage for a more fulfilling and intentional life. Moreover, I invite you to share your experiences with others. Engaging in conversations about your journey can create a sense of community and accountability. Whether it's discussing your progress with friends or sharing your insights on social media, connecting with others can help reinforce your commitment to change. As you share your journey, you may inspire others to embark on their own paths of transformation. Finally, if you found value in this, consider subscribing for more insights and discussions on personal growth and Stoic philosophy. Together, we can continue exploring ways to cultivate a life filled with purpose, authenticity, and inner peace. Remember, the journey to self-discovery is ongoing, and every step you take brings you closer to living a life that resonates with your true self. Thank you for joining me on this journey of quiet transformations. Embrace the power of letting go and watch how it opens doors to new possibilities and a deeper connection with yourself and the world around you. Keep growing, keep letting go, and keep creating a life that feels truly yours.